Welcome back again.
Thanks.
Glad to be back, obviously. And at this time now, especially when you got a young guy like Jay Christensen coming into the lineup, does anything change for you, Z, in terms of helping guys who are going to be called up and helping guys who are going to be in this situation as they try to carve a place out for themselves for the remainder of the year and whatever's ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I think for our team, this is a big stretch of games here at the end of the season. Obviously, we're pretty much out of it for playoffs, but I think, like you said, you got guys like Christensen and Meyer coming up. I'm sure these last few games we'll have other guys coming up and playing as well. And I think for us and myself included, some of the older guys, I think it's just helping them through these games and making sure that they feel comfortable and can play their game. And I think as a group right now, we're playing against a hungry Boston team that wants to climb the standings. And as the year goes on, we're playing against other tough teams too. So I think there's valuable lessons that can be learned, playing these games, even though we're not in it right now. I think it sucks that we're not in it, but I think as a group and for young guys, it's a good time of the year.
How much of that takes place in the room and how much of it is on the ice? I'm sure there's both, but there's got to be learning opportunities that happen or learning situations that happen in both on and off the ice.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to go up to Jake and tell him too much. I just want him to play his game. I don't want to crowd him with information. I'm sure he's getting enough from systems and coaches and things like that. So if he has any questions, obviously I'm here for him, and if he wants to bounce anything off me or ask questions on certain things, me, Gabby, guys that have been here are obviously there for him, and we're here to help him and like I said, just make things easy on him. So I'm not going to be the guy that just pulls him aside just to talk to him and tell him things, but like I said, if he has anything he wants to ask me, obviously I'm there for him.
Hey, Zach, welcome back. I don't think we've seen you or talked to you since the Minnesota game. Kind of a weird-looking hit. Can you say what that hit was like, what happened, what your recovery has been like the last week, 10 days or so?
Yeah, no, it was a good hit, good hockey play. I actually saw him coming right as I was shooting it. The hit itself was fine. It's just kind of unfortunate how his helmet got me right in the mouth and chin, jaw area. Pretty shaken up from it in the moment and a few days following that. But the last week's been good. Yeah, I felt really good the last few days on the ice. Obviously, it sucks not playing and watching the team play, but this time of the year there was no need to kind of rush back into things with where we are. So I wanted to make sure I was healthy and 100%, and I feel like I am right now. So I'm ready to go.
And just with as much attention as is paid, rightly so, to head injuries now, do you think it's more comfortable for players to take additional time, especially in a situation like this, take all the time you need, plus a couple of days in this case, just to make sure everything's clear and right?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think, with how much, we've talked about head injuries and how far it's come in the league, I think guys should feel very comfortable if they're not feeling right to take themselves out or take a few days and be honest about it. I don't think anybody should have to, jump back into it if they're not ready. And I think for me, I felt good enough. I probably could have played Saturday in Boston. I just, one of those things where, like you said, take an extra day just to make sure I'm okay and not rush back into things. And, I think you'll see more and more guys, and hopefully there's not as many concussions, but as they come, I'm sure guys will take more time with them and make sure they're healthy and not try and rush back into it.
Yeah. He's played only a few games in the NHL, so I'm not sure how much you've paid attention to him. But when you see Jay Christensen play, what sort of things stand out to you? What do you admire or recognize with his game?
Yeah, I think tonight's the first night I'm actually playing with, in the same game as him. I think every time he's played, I've been out, so I haven't really seen him up close. But no, I mean, I've heard and I've seen in the games he's played, he's got that offensive upside. He can make little plays. He's a smart hockey player. I think he's only going to get more comfortable the more games he plays, and obviously I've seen his numbers down in Cleveland and what he's doing there. It's very impressive. So, like I said earlier, with me and Gabby and guys that have been here, we're here to help him and make sure he feels comfortable so he can play that game. So yeah, I'm excited to see him up close tonight. I think I'm almost positive it's my first time playing in the same game as him, so that should be fun.
Going back to that hit, how scary was that situation for you, leaving the ice like that?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I think when it happens, you're kind of just wondering what's going on a little bit. Just shaking up, my pieces of teeth, spitting out those, bleeding from the mouth, just kind of all over the place a little bit. And then, when Voter came out, he was just like, take your time and make sure you're good. And I felt pretty good, a few days after. But those hits are part of hockey, and like I said, it was a clean hit. It's good shoulder to shoulder. Just unfortunate that his helmet gets me, and it's part of the game. It's just when you're in that moment, you're just kind of wondering how you can get out of it, and there's really nothing you can do. So it sucks, but it's part of it.
That was one of those games. That was earlier in the game, I guess. But that was a pretty hard-hitting game. I mean, were you guys pretty cognizant going into that game that it was probably going to be that kind of game?
Yeah, I think everyone saw what they did at the deadline. Guys they brought in, Delorier, that Middleton. They brought in some big bodies, and that's a physical team, and that's hockey, and that's the way they play. And whoever they play against, they're probably not going to win every game, but they're gonna, teams are going to know they're in a game, and it's going to be physical, and it's just the way they play, and it's part of the game. But I think as a team, we did a good job. We played hard that game. Obviously I was out early, but watching it from the TV, our team battled hard. We're not that big physical team, but we hung right in there. We played hard, and like I said, that's just how they're built, and it's a tough game when you play Minnesota.
Thanks, Doug.
Yep. Thanks, guys.